Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so rocking to be with you. Well, I've been here today meditating on the mystical Ankh. Have you guys seen this? This is my new Ankh pendant. It's got a little aquamarine crystal in it. Isn't that beautiful? I love the Ankh. The Ankh is a great symbol. It means life. It means eternal life. And it reminds us that, we share an eternal life. This is a great symbol. Oftentimes you see the great goddess Isis carrying this. And you know I have a great love for Isis. For those of you who may not know the goddess Isis, she's probably one of the first and most ancient of the goddesses. She comes out of ancient Egypt. In fact, let me put some pictures from Egypt up here. This is the Egyptian Isis. Now, Isis, her reign extended beyond just Egypt because eventually she moved into Greece and into Rome and into all of Europe. And today, many pagans, modern day pagans, continue to worship Isis. And some worship her in her Egyptian form and some in her Greco-Roman form. Let me put you up here again some pictures to show you the difference between the Greco-Roman Isis and the Egyptian Isis. Check these out. So as you can see, the goddess takes a lot of forms. But Isis is eternal. She's the goddess of 10,000 names. And I've loved Isis for years. Over the years, I've had some small statues of Isis in little shrines and pictures that I've used in altars. And I had recently an inspiration. I had a dream of myself standing before a giant statue of Isis, and it was life-size. And I thought, wow, I want a life-size Isis. I thought, well, I'm going to go look for one. I've looked high and low, and I never found a life-size Isis. I found one kind of large, but it was it cost thousands of dollars. So that didn't happen. And I said, Goddess, I want to honor you. I said a prayer to Isis when I said, Goddess, I want to honor you as the great spiritual guide and mother. Help me find a sign, something I can have that represents you. Well, sure enough, the goddess answered my prayer, and she came to me in a life-size form. So I now have, and it's not finished, I'm setting up a whole altar area, but I can show you some of it today. I now have a life-size goddess in my house. So you want to see her? Come on along. Hail to the great goddess, Isis. Hail, Queen. Hail, Ancient Mother. Behold, guys, this is my life-size Isis. She's standing here. I haven't got her whole area set up, but I have her here right now. This is a platform I'm using to put the statue on. And she's dressed in her beautiful Egyptian attire. You can see if we go a little closer. She's got real feet down here and a beautiful gown. She's got a beautiful gold Egyptian apron. Her arms. Here she's wearing a beautiful ankh and a beautiful golden collar. And her crown is a cobra crown. Can you see that? Isn't that cool? Right now, as I said, I've got her set on this little table. It's going to be covered over in a nice gold lame cloth soon. And she's on a stand, and I put some books back here just to hold the stand, just to keep her a little stable. She was actually a mannequin that I bought, and I was led to this image, and I thought, this looks like the goddess. So I bought it, and I now have her attired in her Egyptian attire. Look at her face. She looks so lifelike. So as you can see, here I am standing next to my goddess Isis. Isn't she beautiful? She's up on a platform, but when she's not on the platform, she's still taller than me. She's close to 6 feet tall. So now she's on about a 2-foot high platform. So she's about 8 feet up here. Very tall, but as you can see, she's very majestic and very beautiful. As I've been doing research on the goddess, one of the things that I learned was that in the ancient temples of Egypt, as well as in the Greek and Roman temples, the statues of the goddess oftentimes wore actual clothing. People would donate fine silks and fabrics and clothing, and they would actually dress the statues in the temple. So by using this form and attiring her, I'm actually following the ancient pagan symbols, the pagan ways. Right now I have her standing in front of my moon altar back here. As you can see, I have my big moon mirror, my book of shadows, my big candlesticks. I got my triple moon symbol here on the wall. And there's my little travel book of shadows. By the way, on a side note, if you like my books of shadows, here's my big book of shadows. You can see it's open. There's a picture of Isis. You can buy books of shadows over at Lady Angela's site at rarewiccaspells.com. And I know she'd sure appreciate the business right now. Lady Angela's in the process of a big move, and she's trying to work hard and make as much money as she can. And if you guys love Lady Angela as much as I do, you might want to invest in buying one of her big books of shadows, or even one of her little travel books. This one she made for me, it's all done in velvet. But anyways, I know I'm digressing, but just thought I'd show it to you because I have my goddess statue here in front of my altar. Now the rest of my house is a disaster today, so ignore the mess elsewhere. But and over there's my Sabbath altar, which I'm still working on. But this is my big main altar here in my living room area. And for right now, I've put the goddess here in front of this. But I'm going to move another area in my house to set up, to move her altar and to really set it up so it'll have candles around the statue and, little prayer books and everything. But I thought you guys would enjoy seeing the goddess. Look at her face. I tell you, it's like talking to her alive. Now, just so you know, this is not the only way she looks. Now, here she's in her kind of Egyptian style attire. But I'm going to honor throughout the year Isis. I'm going to honor throughout the year Isis in all of her different phases. So we're going to change her attire. So as it gets towards spring, when we get to Ostara, we're going to dress Isis as the spring maiden, the earth mother. And you'll see her in her kind of green aspect. I'm going to also dress her in a Roman style as she would appear in the ancient Roman temples. I myself have a personal devotion to Isis in her Roman form. And so this is her Egyptian form, which I like, but I more relate to her in her Roman attire. But I thought for starting out to welcome her, I'd welcome her in her traditional clothing. Look how real her feet look. Isn't that amazing? They didn't miss a detail on this. You can see her hands and her arms. It really looks alive. So we have this, and I haven't done a ritual installation yet. In the old tradition of the goddess, especially the Isis, you install the statues. You do a ritual to invoke the spirit of Isis into it. And then it is believed that the spirit dwells within the form. So we have the form now ready, but right now it's still just a statue. But once we invoke the form of Isis, which I'll do in a future video, then we will have the spirit here. And the statue will, in a sense, truly be the physical presence of Isis in our temple. So we're going to also dress her. I'm working on an outfit for her as sea goddess because I love the sea, and Isis is also known as a sea goddess. So we have sea goddess, we have spring maiden goddess, we're going to have a moon mother goddess outfit. We're going to have, as I said, various Roman aspects of Isis, Greco-Roman. So you're going to see her change and evolve as we go through the year. And I thought, as we come up on different special days of the goddess and different Sabbats, we're going to definitely, study the goddess's energy, and we will attire her in a way that we'll really get to know her. So as you see, here I am with the Great Mother, Isis, and I'm really excited, and I hope you guys will be excited too. So come along. We're going to have a lot of adventures. We're going to see the goddess evolve throughout the year, and she's going to be part of our journey here of the Spirit here at Spirit Channel. So I hope that you'll stay with us and explore the many faces of the goddess. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean.